a whole. Well, wait, I'll wait till Dawn asks.
Okay,
Yeah.
you ready?
Yeah.
Jessica, what are you drinking tonight?
Okay, perfect. I am drinking a big
Yes.
bottle of Girls' Night Out because I feel like being a trashy 22-year-old tonight. Well, my husband's not here, so I'm gonna have the worst hangover tomorrow.
Are you
so.
not
Yes,
drinking
you
it from
are.
the bottle?
No, the bottle's too heavy. My arms are weak.
Get us some wine lifts. Wine lifts, man.
I don't want to work out when I drink. I want to relax.
Just be all easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Yeah.
You'll be drunk. You won't feel it after a while. Don't worry.
That's when I start like spilling. I'm like, I missed. I forget to
Sonia,
put
what are
the
you
lid
drinking
on.
tonight?
I'm actually only drinking pop because I'm hopped up on allergy meds, and yeah,
fair.
it's my dogs. They're in their getting their fall coat, I guess, and
Yeah.
I have 6 dogs. 4 of them are dual coats, so that means they shed a lot, and it's ridiculous. So I'm having trouble breathing. So I'm on like prescription, heavy duty, don't operate machinery.
The good stuff.
The good stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna be sleeping good already. So it's just,
You're just already like right now. You're actually sleeping.
I could fall asleep.
You're so good at podcasting. You can do it in your sleep.
I could, yeah, because all I do is awkwardly laugh. Anyway, it's an
Do you awkwardly laugh in your sleep? You're just
Maybe.
you're like snoring a little bit, like.
Yo,
what's our word?
But like I can go on autopilot, and a lot of it is just awkward laughing. You know when you like zone your kids out because you really don't want to have to deal with their like Minecraft or whatever they're talking about. Like,
yeah.
you're just like, yeah, awesome. It's the same thing you do at the bar.
Cool.
Yeah, I learned that when you're at a bar and you don't really want to talk to people. So I should put that into my adult life, taking care of my kids. It's a skill that keeps on giving.
Just tune things out.
Yeah. You're amazing.
Good job.
Good for you. All right.
Dawn, what about you?
Yeah,
Oh,
we just missed you. This is
I didn't miss her.
no.
I'm just drinking green tea, like the iced green tea.
Wait,
is that
alcohol
in a bottle?
No, it's not. It's not alcohol. It's just.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say green tea alcohol.
Oh, maybe you could you could get like a lime, like rum kind of thing, or a vodka, and like mix it. It might taste really good.
We'll
I'll have to do that next time.
try it.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess it's
New
just me
recipe.
drunk tonight.
Yeah,
It's just you. I'm like not drunk. I'm something else. Whatever it is.
You're stoned.
You're medically high.
Medically high.
Medically high. Okay. I feel like we've already done this question, but
do you want to draw another one?
Yeah, wait, let me say it, and you guys tell me if we've already done it. Okay, I feel like this is deja vu. What is something that a ton of people are obsessed with, but you don't get the point of it? I feel like we've done that.
We've talked about that, but I think in different words.
Definitely.
Yeah,
different
or
words.
like
we talked about I think things that people get hyped about that we don't get the hype or something. So pick something different.
That's like a
damn it.
That's like a damn it. Fucking damn it. Okay. Let me pull out this one and let me see. Okay. Oh, it's folded nice. Oh, maybe. But I think some of these are like we just go on a tangent and just like do these topics on our own.
Anyway.
Yeah. What's the most annoying question anyone has ever asked you?
We did do this one.
Got this
one.
John,
you
fucking annoying
why don't you
people
smile more? Like
wait. Oh
yeah, we need the word.
Oh my god, get summary. It's more.
Drink.
Like, I don't know if you can see. Bam.
Oh yeah, I see it. It has been confirmed.
Drink.
Damn it! I should have known. Okay.
Except for I have like cotton mouth. I'm gonna need like another drink like 5 minutes in.
Well, I mean, it's true. I used to get that when I worked a lot, like especially when I worked like as a waitress or something. Like I'd be there at like 8 a.m. Like I'm not gonna fucking smile. It's 8 a.m. Like what the fuck do you want from me? Like I did my makeup, okay? Like that's the
Like,
most
what more
you're
do
getting.
you want?
Yeah,
Or
like
it's
at my
just
old
like-
job, I would be like getting up at 4 a.m. and had to like start my shift at 6. I'm not smiling. Like I haven't even had a coffee. Like no.
Yeah. Even like just walking down the fucking street, you'd be a lot more pretty if you smiled or something bullshit.
Old
like
creepy
that,
men that always
yeah,
just feel the need
yeah.
to talk to you when you're like
Yeah.
17 for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, when I was 17, I looked like 12. And the amount of like gross people that would come up to me, it was fucking disgusting. But it like was
Yeah.
always like, oh, I bet you're pretty if you smile. Like smile for me. Like
Yeah.
gross
It's
stuff
so
like that.
gross to think about it now because like you don't even realize how young you are then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like as it's like even at 17 you like feel grown.
Yeah.
Like and then yeah.
You're not. But you
And
feel
you're
like
not.
it.
And
Yeah.
then when you're 30, then it's like you're looking back and you're like, damn, those are gross. Like that's gross. Like
Yeah. And I find that now that I'm older, I don't get it as much. And I think that's because gross men know older women will tell you to shut the fuck up.
yes.
Like, don't be such a fucking disgusting creep. And so I feel like these grocers are just preying on younger women,
Obviously. Yeah.
like
Yes.
children. That's what it is.
Yeah, children.
Because they don't
There's
know
no
any
underage
better.
women. That's
Yeah, no,
children.
it's children. Yeah, I feel like they just don't. They're just no, they're easy
Yeah.
prey. Like I was, I don't know. I was talking to Kyle earlier. I was like, you know what? I haven't seen in a while. Some rando jacking off in front of me. Like like how many fucking times that happened to me as a child, as I'm a grown ass woman. Like it's just like it's fucking disgusting. And I really don't think there's less perverts out there. That's not it. Like
No. We're just out of their age bracket.
Yeah.
Like, that's all it is.
It's fucking crazy. I just ugh.
No, it's gross. Men are gross.
I have
Yeah.
another one. Another thing that
Mhm.
pisses me off.
Mhm.
If I am not feeling well, the first question people ask are you pregnant? That
Ugh.
just irks me. Or if I'm bitchy, are you on your period? Now listen,
Right? I could just have a bad fucking day.
listen. My mood should not be determined on what's coming in or out of my vagina. I don't care.
Well, like lack of something in my vagina does make me cranky. That it's like a fact.
I think it's like, well, I think for like men, it's like they try to use women's hormones as a way to like justify their behavior towards us. It's like they'll gaslight you, and then when you freak out, it's like you must be on your period. And these men don't even understand periods, which is the worst part about it. They just use that, right?
Yeah.
But it's like males' hormones do the same thing female hormones do, just in a day.
Yes. Yeah.
Like their cycle is 24 hours. It's one reason they always wake up with morning wood when their highest testosterone levels, or right before they would have a period if they were in the female realm.
Yeah.
Our cycles are just around 28 days. So
Right.
you're having PMS every fucking day, dude.
Yeah.
Like you can't deal with 3 days of mine. And
You're
you say you're the stronger sex? Like, dude, come on.
No. We have like a special like closet in our house, and it's full of period chocolate. And at least once a day, Kyle's like, I'm on my period. I need some chocolate. Like that's he knows. He's like, oh, I'm on my period. I need some chocolate. Like it's just, not every man's oblivious.
Blah, blah.
Oblivious? Fuck. There's a word. It starts with an O-B. Oh, yeah.
Oblivion?
Yeah, but us at the
Oblivious?
end. Yes.
Oblivious. Oblivious.
Listen, we're just going to move on.
Yeah,
That's it.
let's just pick a different word and go.
Let's just go. Ugh.
But yeah, and like the pregnant thing, it doesn't matter if they fucking look pregnant. Like they look like they're about to pop. Don't ask someone if they're pregnant.
I know.
Right? It's rude.
Well, fuck, like it could be a tumor for all you know.
Yeah.
Like, or they could have just had the baby.
Yeah.
That happens too. Like, and they still look pregnant, you know?
Yeah.
Or they could have just be fat. Like, well, like
Right.
there's no winning with that question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one wants to look pregnant, even like 9 months pregnant. We don't want to look pregnant.
Nobody wants to
No.
look pregnant.
We just are, okay? Don't point it out.
Leave us alone. I remember
Talk
this
about our hair or something.
Yeah, your lack of hair, your cancer hair.
Yeah. I just shaved my head. I didn't know wearing a mask made me look sickly. Okay.
You need more sun.
I got rosy cheeks.
There you go.
I think it's because I also have no eyebrows. Like my eyebrows are very faint too, so it could be like, oh, she lost her eyebrows as well. You know, like I just lost all of it.
Just all of it.
All of it.
I
Just
draw
wet.
them on sometimes so you can see them.
When I was looking pregnant, when I was pregnant with the last child and I was babysitting my niece's daughter, I'm going for a walk to stay healthy or whatever. But I look pregnant because I am. And someone's like, oh, good for you trying to lose that baby weight. Like I was like, oh, she was like being so proud. She's trying to hype me up. Like she doesn't, older generations, they don't know any better. That's how, generational trauma.
Yeah. It's all passed on.
Yeah. And I didn't know what to say. I was like, oh, okay, thank you. Like she was just trying to hype me up. She's like, you're gonna lose all that weight in no time. You look fantastic. I was like,
she had so much faith in you.
She did.
He was so
little does she
What a
know
cheerleader.
I weigh like 60 pounds more than that now. Like if she were to see me now, like she's like, oh.
Well, it's like when I was pregnant with Lyric, I was like 7.5 months pregnant, and we drove to Quebec, so like 7 hours. My ankles were so swollen, but we drove there for our niece's sweet 16, and I go there, and my I don't know how he's related to the family. Okay, my mother's-in-law's sister married my mother-in-law's ex-husband, who's the father of my husband's brother.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's there. It's all good. They eat at the same table. I don't know. And I'm just new to the family, so I don't know the secrets yet. But so I don't even know him that well. Like he's not part of my main circle of family. And he comes up to me and he says, "Are you sure it's just one in there?"
Right. No, I hate those questions always.
I'm like, sure? That's what the doctor told me. Like, I don't like. How do I respond to you just telling me I'm fatter than I should be, but I should be fat? I'm just fatter than that.
Yeah,
like I'm just fatter than the fat you thought I would be. like thank you.
Touchy. Like, why? Why is any pregnant like? You wouldn't do these things to a non-pregnant person, but people think like all manners are like, and they just like
you're just an incubator. You're an object.
You're no longer a person.
No,
like it's redonkulous.
We should start doing that to non-pregnant people.
Men.
Just start grabbing their bellies, being like, "How far along are you?
How far along?
What is it? Like 6 beers?
Yeah.
Like,
how much bread did you eat today?
Wow.
Wow.
Do you have like 6 taquitos? Like,
yeah.
It's kicking.
Yeah.
You're gonna need the toilet soon.
Just bring your air
to my
freshener.
husband all the time. So I mean, I always rub his belly. I'm like, is it time yet? Are we due?
It's like
he doesn't find it as funny as you guys do. So
yeah, why not?
I'm trying to think of questions I hate asked for. Wait, what was the question?
Questions you don't like being asked are annoying. Yeah.
Oh, I got one.
Yeah.
So I had my son. You guys also had kids young, so you might have gotten this question.
Yeah.
I had my son 3 weeks after I turned 19. So I was pregnant mostly when I was 18. And I went to university like when my son was 16 months old. And a lot of the people in university were like a year younger than me. So like my age didn't seem like off because it's a gap year, whatever, that's common. But we'd be talking, doing group stuff or whatever, and they'd all be talking about going home, doing their laundry or whatever. They'd be like, "What about you?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I'd be at home with my son." And then you saw they'd be like, "Oh, how old is he?" And I'd give his age, and you could just see their like mind start to do the
math.
because they want to ask, like,
how old were you?
How old are you?
Yeah, yes,
Like,
I get that a
they
lot.
think you're their age, which you are, but then all of a sudden they just think maybe she looks younger. Maybe you just see their, and then that's when they would ask, "How old are you?" Because they want to know when you had your kid, as if that matters to them somehow.
Yes, yeah, I get that. Or like, oh, what were you, like 10 when you had them? Like, I get that I look young, but like sometimes it's like rude. I don't know, because like there's
like,
this,
what if you were?
Right?
Like, what if you were 10 when you had them? Are they ready to open that can of worms?
Right? Are you ready for that conversation?
Like, are you going to be my therapist? Like, do you want to talk about, like, oh, yeah, I was raped when I was 10 and forced to carry the pregnancy, and now I raised that kid, and yeah, this is my first year of university. How about you?
Right?
Like what?
How was your childhood?
Like, like, what the fuck? Like, how is that a good question?
It's not. It's terrible. And like, it's just,
I still get asked that question though, because
I do. Yeah.
Nick is so tall and he looks older than his age. So people are all like, "You're his mom?" Like, yeah, dude, I am.
Ernest gets that a lot, especially because me and Ernest look a lot alike, even more so now that I have short hair. Like, a lot of people have thought that we're like siblings because we look so much alike. That it's like, oh, you must have the same mom and dad, not that, you know, like he's only 50% you.
Yeah.
And Ernest is the same thing. He's tall. He's taller than me now, and he's 12.
Yeah.
And he's always looked older for his age. And so, I hated that, especially when I was in school, because then as soon as they're like, oh, teen mom,
right?
Then you get,
yeah.
Then they start like all those judgments that they did not have of you up, and like they thought you were a smart, capable, blah, 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 member of their group or whatever. And then as soon as they get there, you just see them go, oh, there must be something wrong with her.
I always say, no, I just look younger for my age. I always, when it comes to situations like that, I always age myself like 10 years more. Like, you know, like I'm like, oh no, like I'm way closer to like 45, whatever, right? Because like Kara's 20, she turns 20 next month. So like a lot of people are like, oh wow, like she's so young. You're so young. I was like, oh no, I'm way older than I look. Like, it's, even though I look young, I just like, I don't know, man, I'm way older.
I just took it. I was like, I had my kid right after I turned 19.
Yeah, I'm totally open with mine. Like, I don't care.
Well, that used to be my joke, because that would be my opener. I'd always be like, yeah, it was the worst 19th birthday ever. And then I'll go, ha ha ha, you know, the awkward laughs and move on, you know, kind of thing. It was just like, you know, especially when I was talking with professors and stuff, it was just, then they put that stigma on you as, I mean, I had some good professors, some that like understood, but it's my biggest gripe was with people my age judging me is it's like, you had sex at 16 too, Becca. Like,
you know exactly what was going on.
Yeah, like, what are you talking about? Like, why are you blaming me just because I have evidence of it?
Right?
Like, I'm sure this like, just because I birthed proof of my sexual activities when I was a teenager doesn't mean so many of you like didn't have pregnancy scares that used to come to me about. Like,
like every month. Right? Every month you were crying that you might be pregnant. Enough with that.
I was only crying I might be pregnant twice, and one of them turned out to be true.
It was a 50-50.
50-50.
When I was pregnant with Kara, I would used to go with my brother Terry, and he already had a daughter. So Terry's like 7 years older than I am, 6 years older than I am. So he had a child at 19, young. And then, but I at 16 and pregnant looked like 13 and pregnant. So every time we go to like Center Mall, he used to get the most disgusting looks ever. But like nobody would say anything. Nobody would be like, you child rapist. But like instead they would just be like, oh, okay, that's it. Like, why aren't you protecting that child? Like, I know, like Terry already feels guilty enough. Like he felt like the most dirtiest old man, even though like one, he's my fucking brother, and two, like that's not the scenario at all. But like,
yeah, it wasn't about what was going on. It was about what was perceived to be going on.
Yeah. But like, why didn't anyone be like, oh my gosh, I should call child services?
Well, it's like that show, What Would You Do?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and then you see sometimes there's people that just like look and like judge from afar, but don't actually go and like do anything.
I am guilty for that. So like Kyle and I played a game called Dating or Related. And like when people sometimes look alike, where someone looks like a dad or like his girlfriend's really young, but like if they kiss on the mouth, maybe they're related or not or dating.
Is that on Instagram? Because there's an Instagram.
Oh, there is. I saw that.
But yeah, I was gonna say I've done that one.
We've been playing it. We've been together for like 18 years, so like we've been playing it like our whole life. It feels like, but like we're just so I to judge like that. I'm like, oh, dating or related. It's never that's their brother and that's their younger sister pregnant. It's always like maybe they're dating, maybe they're related.
Yep.
That's a good annoying question. Are you dating or are you related?
Or are you both? Are you dating?
Yeah.
Or related?
Yeah, are you both?
What southern state do you live in?
Let's name them.
Yeah.
Oh well, it's bad. I mean, like there's so many TikToks that get sketchy, and then there's only like so much you can do, you know, when it comes to like when you see sketchy shit on social media, especially with like parents profiteering from their children.
Yeah,
and
Ryan kid. I hate
like
no,
Ryan's
I don't
toys
hate the kid.
or whatever.
I don't hate the kid.
That's the
I hate
problem
the
is you don't hate the kid. You hate
Yeah.
the social media channel because it's like when it's social media and stuff, like when you're making content in that way, there's no laws. There's no child labor laws.
No.
So if you're making like YouTube content with your kids, you can have them work 12, 15 hours a day. Like no one's going to stop you. You know what I mean? Like, and like that sounds like a lot, but like if you're filming a lot of content and some of that content is just home life or whatever, like it's nothing crazy, but like when kids are working on like an actual set for TV, movies, etc., they have to have teachers on set. They have to get breaks every once in a while. They have to have a certain amount of food, etc., etc. Kids don't have those protections with online content.
No, and like you just, first of all, their acting is horrible. That bothers me. But like you see, it's supposed to be his like YouTube show, but you see the parents off doing things. They're like using their kids, like because kids like watching other kids.
Yes.
I don't understand. Mirror, they like, I don't know what it's a psychological whatever, blah blah blah. But like the parents are doing a lot of their bad acting without the kid. Like I feel like they're just using their kids wanting to watch other kids. They're just waiting for this kid to come back on the YouTube, but it's always the parents. I was like, oh my gosh, I missed out on something. I should have. I'm bitter.
You're just bitter. Why didn't I profit off my children? Why didn't I get this idea?
Yeah. Like, why didn't I force my kids on YouTube? Like Constantine wanted to do YouTube for a while, and they did like 3 videos, and then they're like, no. So that was it.
That's
what
happened with my son too. Like we did a YouTube channel. He did a couple videos, and then I didn't have time to edit, and he was 6. And so then eventually he got older, and then he'd stream. But even now he streams whenever he wants, but it's only a couple hours a week. It's nothing crazy, and it's like I find out because I get a notification that he's streaming. Like it's not like I'm like time for you, you know.
They like write scripts for this kid. I don't know, but like there's other ones that are like disgusting. I don't want to name names because I feel like that's adding fame to them. But they would like abuse their kids on purpose to get reactions, like reaction videos. Those people are disgusting. And
the family that adopted the one kid,
and
gave him back.
Like I don't like naming these people.
No, I'm not naming. And then on TikTok, there's the one mom that's been using her daughter to get gross men to watch. Like it's you know, like it's Yeah. So
yeah, we all know exactly who these people are.
yeah, and it's fucking sick, and we all see it, and there's really only so much you can do. People have already called the cops on a lot of these people.
Yeah,
Child Protective Services has been involved with a lot of these people, and it's like they're
report it, right? And
yeah,
then
that's
like
it.
all these people are like, oh, it's just for TV, like that's how they try and get away with it. But like, you're abusing your fucking kids, right? Like that's like it's a new form of abuse. Like it's not in the books because like
Creative
it's new.
abuse. Like,
Yeah.
Well, and it's like a lot of this stuff used to happen like on sets, and then there'd be like a lot, like I mean, reading about like the Nickelodeon kids, where their parents literally just signed them up to be abused by other
Mhm.
adults.
Yeah.
And it's like it's just ridiculous to me, like this capitalism. It's all capitalism because these adults just want profit.
Yeah.
And
Off these
then
poor kids.
children and children, for the record, it's only been like the last couple generations that children have been considered like what's the word, like deficits.
Yeah.
Like because before you used to have as many children as you could to like work the land or go off to the city to get money to bring back home or whatever. You had as many children as you could because that's how you kept your family afloat. Because
Yeah.
they'd work at the age of 5, like as soon as
Right?
they could walk, they'd start like hoeing the fields or whatever. But now it's like they're so expensive. You have to take care of them for a long time, before they can work and whatever else. You're responsible for them. And now it's like, now it's costing more to raise a kid than you're going to get back as a parent because you're not going to get anything back.
You really
Before
shouldn't be having kids to make money.
No, but that's what it used to be.
I
It
know.
literally used to.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of like the problem, I think, is like
It's so disgusting.
that generational trauma we're
Trauma,
just
it
talking
is,
about.
yeah.
It's like, oh,
Yeah.
well, I got a couple of kids. If I can't get kids, I'll work with kids, and eventually I'll get kids, and I'll make money off of them.
Just
So.
yeah, is like the sad thing is that the kids don't ask to be born, right? Like they have zero choice out of their existence. So like if you are ever blessed, I'm using that word,
Yeah.
little bit, and then I can't talk. Oh my gosh. Anyway, if you're lucky enough
It's the
to have
medication.
kids,
Yeah.
you just
The
No, it's
medication.
not. I can't talk. And like you should give them everything. That's just my philosophy. Like the kids didn't ask to be born. Like you should treat them like gods. That's
Yeah,
that's
is
just
what
what I think, yeah.
my favorite is when parents say like things like, oh, I fed you and clothed you and gave you a roof over your head. And it's like, yeah, that's the bare minimum.
Right?
That's literally what you signed up to do. Like, I didn't ask for that. Like, I wasn't like,
yeah.
please pay rent another month for like I want. Can I have some more? Like, I didn't do any of that.
No, I didn't come
literally-
banging on your fucking door being like, take care of me.
Yeah, like no, it's like the basic needs of life is the bare fucking minimum of being a parent. So it's like,
Right?
yeah, stop blaming me because you didn't wrap it up.
Exactly.
That wasn't my choice.
Or have a back alley abortion. Like that's not
Oh
my fault.
Gosh, I pray. Like I would have loved. You know what? Like pro-lifers out there, I would have loved to be aborted. Okay, just
Well, I don't want you to be aborted.
Yeah,
I love
no,
you.
you can't be
Yeah.
aborted.
but you wouldn't even known. Like I wouldn't.
I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. Yeah. Well, like
Oh, so
there's
it wouldn't have
many things,
affected
yeah.
me anyway. It would just have
Well,
affected me.
I would know.
That would have
I
been
would feel
okay.
it. I would feel
Yeah.
it in the universe, and I would know there's something missing.
You're just
Yeah,
like,
we'd be like,
"Oh."
Sonia, there's a third friend that we're missing. Like we would,
Yeah.
and then yeah,
We
The
would
wind
know.
just goes by, and you're just like, I think
Jessica.
I would have made a friend today. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
there
It's
goes
just Megan.
Jessica. There's that wind.
Bye. No, that's not.
I just got aborted, guys.
It happened.
I willed it into existence. For our listeners, my camera just shut off, so I disappeared for a second. My dream came true.
You wish and you shall receive.
There is
But
a
I think-
God.
I think that's like maybe depression. That makes me feel feel it that way. You might want to check that out.
Oh no, it's just the fact that I had shitty parents. That's what that
Yeah.
is.
Oh yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to have been aborted if I just had parents.
If I had a better life, and like the fact like a lot of people, especially like when you grow up poor, a lot of people think the bare minimum of taking care of your kids is they have a room to sleep in. Like that's even then it's shared with
Not
like,
even
10
then
other
if you're
people.
a part-time dad. If you only have your kid on the weekend, you just give him a
Yeah.
futon or a couch.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But, like,
If you
but,
even
like,
choose to see your kid, like
if you
Yeah.
even choose to see your kid. But like there's so much more to that, and people those life people don't understand that it takes more. Like how mentally exhausting it is to like raise a fucking teenager, not just one, but I have 4. Like it's fucking rough. And like there's more to it than just giving them a room. Like you need to meet all their needs. Like, and kids,
They have a lot of needs. They're fucking needy, and they don't know how to fulfill their own needs.
Right.
So they
'cause they're
need someone
little
there
people.
to not only fulfill them for them, but to teach them how to fulfill it themselves.
Yeah.
So it's like, or you
kids
also end up like adults. You end up adults like us who have needs, don't know how to fulfill them. We're trying our best, but we were just never taught to. Like it's not
we're just drinking and making jokes about our trauma. Like that's not healthy.
Yeah. Thanks, Dad.
Thanks, other parents.
Yeah. Fuck you, parents. No, I think it's like, well, and like, like I understand like my parents had traumatic upbringings as well. And it's like, I just wish they cared enough to like recognize that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of like putting that on me too. Like it's like I was the thing that was supposed to keep them together, make them feel fulfilled, or make them feel like they're doing a good job. And it's like, dude, I was 6 months old. Like, give me like I was born with a job. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
And like, why is it our generation realizing that we need to stop that trauma? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why? I know some people are lucky enough that like their parents before them like have started, so their childhoods weren't so shitty. But like, why am I working so hard to figure shit out for my kids when this is something I should have learned growing up myself?
Yeah.
Like, why am I stopping it? Like, why is that to begin with? You know what I mean? Like,
these are good questions. Stats.
These are why?
Well, and like fucking, I love Zoomers. Like I know there's a lot of like a generation's supposed to hate each other, blah 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 blah. But when it comes to Zoomers, I fucking love them. Like most Zoomers, obviously, there's always going to be those ones growing up to shitty millennial parents. Just like there's some good boomers out there, but there's fucking Zoomers out there that are like striking and for like COVID restrictions and striking for missing and murdered Indigenous women and doing like so much political work and fighting to have the voting age reduced to 16, which I think it should be.
Yep.
Like I'm like 16-year-olds are more likely to have to deal with the government than 85-year-olds. So why do 85-year-olds get to vote?
Yeah.
And it's like when I was 16, I didn't even think about voting, to be honest. Like I didn't. So like I love hearing these Zoomers like talk about important shit that I didn't realize till I was in my mid-20s, I think.
Yeah, that's because millennials are like their parents, like that, and we're like, fuck.
Well, it's always like there's like a step ladder, right? Like we can't like just. Like we're still dealing with our shit. We're trying to parent our kids while dealing with our shit, and then our kids are gonna have a little bit of shit. And if they ever have children, then they're gonna have to deal with a little bit of shit while parenting their kids.
Less and less shit, hopefully.
Less and less shit. Yeah. That's the
less
goal.
And less shit. Yeah.
Harm reduction.
Yeah. We like centers or something.
Yeah. So yeah. I'm trying to think of other questions that I hate being asked.
I can think of so many.
Oh, go for it.
And it's always along the lines of like reproduction, by the way.
Always. Anything about reproduction.
So I have 2 sons, right? Which are 10 years apart. And I get asked all the time, are you going to try for a girl? Like, no. I am not. Thank you. Like, why do I need to have like one of each? Why?
And how are you even going to know if they're going to stay that way?
Exactly.
Like, just because you assign them that at birth doesn't mean you're not going to end up with 2 sons anyway.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you're going to have 10 sons. Good for you. Like, you go.
No. Sorry, you froze for a second.
I forgot. Oh, I thought you were talking, and then I was like, oh, shoot. And then I forgot what I was saying anyway. So, like, you go. But it was just because I was frozen.
No. Yeah, I was just going to say it's frozen. So you go. You go.
I know. I don't. Oh, no, you go. That's right.
I used to get that one. I used to get that when it was just Ernest, and then I ended up lucky, as in I had a daughter, so now I'm not going to get asked that. But like, Lyric's autistic, and like, what's the number? Like 60% of trans people are actually autistic. Like, if you're autistic, you have a higher rate of being non-binary. Like, so her gender doesn't matter. Like, you know, like I think I could end up with 2 sons.
Yeah, I think because you're more woke as a neurodivergent person, like, because you're not so focused on society standards because you don't understand them. I think you are more free to be yourself because, like, who gives a shit? You don't care. You have autism. Like, you know, like,
it's like already weird,
right? Yeah, I just feel like people who are on the spectrum just seem to be more aware of their self. They have more self-aware, even though that's funny because a lot of people assume that if you have autism, you don't have any sense of self. Yeah. But like at times it's the extremity. You have so much sense of self that you know exactly who you are. It's just society makes you feel
I feel like that's where the social stuff comes in. And so you have so much sense of self that you have trouble sometimes about other people, like understanding the other, which comes with like the social interactions and the social cues and that kind of thing. So it's like you're so knowing what you need and what your senses are feeling that it's hard for you to like read what other people are feeling.
And getting so easily frustrated with how people don't understand. Like, I like
just say what you mean. Stop fucking like making me guess. My brain hurts.
Yeah. But like it is like most people are in a box and they can't see outside that box, right? And it drives me crazy that other people can't see other people's differences. Like I'm so aware of myself and other people's differences, but I just don't understand how people can't. Although I know why. Like I know why people can't, but it still drives me bonkers.
My biggest thing is secondhand embarrassment physically makes me ill.
Oh my God.
If I am watching someone make an idiot of themselves, and not in a funny way.
No.
Like it's like a really like it hurts
the Jackass,
my core.
I can't watch that. Like
Jackass is fine because they're confident in that. It becomes funny for me. It's more like when you see someone like who really, really, really wants to be able to sing or something. And they go to like an open mic or some kind of audition and they believe it. Like they believe in their hearts that this is what they want to do. And then they do it and you just like it's so bad. It's like how can how can you be confident enough to even do that? Like do you not realize that that's not good, or do you not? And then it just makes me like physically ill because it's like I picture myself doing that and going, I would cry.
Yeah,
you know.
Although like our Patreon stuff is like react series, you know, where there's like a lot of things where like
that's half of it. I laugh and cry that entire
on
react
the inside.
series.
On the inside, I'm like, ooh. Like it's
try not to puke.
Right, yeah. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But like it's still crazy and it's still entertainment, but in a really gross way that hurts my bones. But like, yeah.
It's like I wish people were smarter than to sign up for these shows, but they're signing up. So here we are to watch. You know?
That's their own fault. And like reality TV is very extreme. Like they search for things. Like most of that like is all staged and stuff. And like some of the actors are so bad you can see them smiling in the background about it. You know, they're just like, but it's still too real for me.
Yeah. We went on a trip and we were going to do this reality show, but no one committed to it.
I know. I made profiles for everybody.
Profiles and everything. Yeah. Sonia made profiles for everything, and we were going to just whenever someone like I don't know yelled action or whatever it was, someone started videotaping. You had to resume character as if you were in a reality series, and we never did it. Like not one person called it out. I mean, for the record, there was some dead weight on that trip, so
and we were all
So,
like
you
drunk
know.
all the time. Like,
well, no, except in the morning when they needed to work out on vacation
Right.
that we were hiking on. Like I don't know.
That's too much working out for me. Like
in
that.
like a room where literally if anyone else wanted to work out but them, they couldn't.
Yeah, it was
So
just
it didn't matter. It's like you could want to join in, but there's not enough room. So just these people. But but we should do that in Vegas. Like
Okay.
actually do it. We don't even have to be characters. We can be ourselves. And
we
just
can
make
be ourselves.
and we can just make our
Exaggerations.
characters as we go.
Yeah.
You know, like yeah, just be ourselves. And just whenever someone starts videotaping, you have to like resume your character, and then we can put that bonus footage out.
All right.
Yeah.
That sounds good. I'm gonna need a lot of
what's-
allergy pills.
What are those wives shows called? The
Housewives?
real housewives of
Yeah.
Las Vegas.
All right.
Yeah.
Like the real non-housewives of Las Vegas.
But
Of
we are
non-Las Vegas?
housewives.
We are just not of Las
The real
Vegas.
housewives visiting Las Vegas.
Our like posh stance.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm Jessica. I'm a mom of 2 kids with a musician husband, and I buy all the best stuff. I don't know what the Real Housewives talk like, but that's what
I
do.
think you need a little bit bitchier.
Okay.
You need to practice your bitch.
Hmm.
Fuck you. I was just gonna swear and I was trying to stay straight faced, but it didn't work. Fuck you, Jessica.
You fucking cunt.
I'm a bitch.
Don't make me whip this tampon out and throw it at you.
Oh God.
That'd be good reality TV, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing this for the views, Sonia.
You're just out there like fishing. You're like, hold on, I lost the string. So like,
Okay,
you got your leg up.
it's the last day, so it's a little dry. Hold on.
Let me get the pliers.
Diva cup. You need to throw the diva cup.
You're like,
Oh my gosh, just splash. Like just like a water throw, but it's the diva cup.
a Spider-Man. Like that's oh no.
Oh.
Oh.
No, okay. I'll have to check if I'm on my period that trip.
I might be actually.
I
These are
did the-
tampons on people.
I did the math and I should be okay. But
I might be on my period.
if I skip some days and I do different math, I could make it so I am. I don't know if that's a goal. I can
My
do the math.
ovaries are shutting down, so I went like 3 months without a period and then had 2 periods back to back. So who knows? It'll be
knows?
a surprise
Mine's
for
like
all
all
of
over the
us.
place, too, for who knows?
Yeah. There you gotta do period math. Because I take medication to have a period.
Oh my
every
god,
time.
that would be a funny way to fuck with someone. Don't
Stop.
do this. No, I was gonna say if I was on a real reality show, Real Housewives reality show, we were enemies, okay?
Okay, yeah, of course.
I would crush up the pill. Okay, don't do this. I'm joking. This is a joke. Disclaimer, joke.
Do
Okay.
it.
So yeah.
Okay. I don't want people to think I'm serious, you know. Okay, I would crush up.
We just talked about throwing period blood in people.
yeah, but they might think we're not like we're serious. Like who
Okay.
knows? This could be
Alright.
the first podcast they're listening to of us. Okay, I would hang out with you. I'd be friends. You know, keep your enemies close, right?
Yeah.
We have drinks every once in a while. I try to go as maybe we're neighbors. Maybe I'm having a Real Housewives of reality show. We're probably neighbors. I come over once a day for like afternoon tea or cocktails or wine. We're all wine moms. That works. I'm going to crush up birth control pills in your drink every day. I'm not going to skip a week. You can go 3 months without a period, and you're not going to know why.
I'll be like, oh my god,
no, I guess something more diabolical.
And then you're gonna have
lines. Hold on.
okay.
You just do it for 3 days, and then you stop giving them the birth control. So then they get their period, and then you give them birth control again for 3 days, and then they stop, right? And then they get their period again, and you just constantly
You just make
do
them
that.
piggyback their period
Yeah.
like every other week, and
Yeah.
they're just like, why won't it stop?
Yes.
but what
See,
happens?
I
if
think
I'm
that'd be
already
worse than just skipping 3 months.
If that person's already taking estrogen, that won't really work because your estrogen levels. So if you don't skip a week, I'm skipping a week, so my estrogen levels do drop, and then my body's like, okay, it's period time.
Yes.
Well,
but
then
if
I'll
you
just
miss
give
your
you a
period-
double dose
That's
every
right.
day.
Like, you're gonna have to know. You're gonna have to know, and you're gonna have to
Yeah.
do science. You're gonna have to know the amount of estrogen in each.
I'll give you a single dose every day you're taking your estrogen, and a double dose on the days you're not,
Okay.
and then it won't
Yeah,
go off. And because it's double dosing constantly, if your estrogen's dipped just a tiny bit, you might spot for a day, but you might not have a full-fledged period. Might not be enough.
And I'll go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fantastic. It'll be good.
Because there's
rather
no
than keeping it.
good reason in your 30s that your period should stop. You know what I mean? There's no good reason.
Yeah,
Unless
it's all
you're like
scary
you're either
reasons.
pregnant or premature menopause or
Your uterus is falling out.
yeah, like all bad reasons.
All bad. I think although out of the like whatever, I prefer my uterus falling out over a child like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever seen a picture of a uterine prolapse?
No, I don't remember. Maybe in science a long time ago.
It looks like a teardrop
Yeah, it's not
coming out of
big,
your
right?
vagina.
Yeah.
It looks like this big teardrop sac, like it's the shape of a teardrop coming out of your vagina. It's pretty interesting, you know. Like it's not like bloody like you would expect.
No. Yeah. Is it like, it's not like a weird color.
It's like red. It's like red or
Yeah,
purple, you know.
yeah.
But it's just like in a teardrop shape, a little bit blue in there, you know. And
Yeah, I
a
think
teardrop
that's
shape.
what,
But it's not as like bloody as you'd expect. Like I was like an anal prolapse is pretty bloody, but a uterine prolapse
Those
not so
looks-
much.
It like it kind of looks like a hemorrhoid, but a little bit, yeah.
It's like it's bigger.
Yeah. It's
yeah.
like a golf ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks like
Shit, Sonya's looking at
childbirth.
right now.
I'm
Yeah.
looking at it right now, and it kind of looks like the worm in like the sandworms in that movie. Like it looks like that, but like it's not, that's what it looks like.
I watched an episode of I used to be addicted to TLC shows, and I watched an episode I didn't know I was pregnant. And like the one woman giving birth thought she was having a uterine prolapse, but then a whole ass baby came out, and she
Yeah.
was like, that was worse. So
Yeah.
like I get it. Like I
Yeah.
understand.
Oh my god! I hope my kids go on Google because we all share the same network, and this comes up as one of their like an automatic search. That'll be fun. You're welcome.
Yeah. It's education.
Educational.
Here's
Why
all
is
the
that-
way your uterus can go wrong.
Yeah. Why is that sandworm coming out of that woman's vagina?
She had unprotected sex. Like that's just like you scare them early, you know?
I don't know if I have to worry about that yet. Like,
Yeah.
thank God for autism. That's
Hey. I'm possibly autistic and had sex in my
Oh my
teens.
god, I know. I had a kid at 16, but they're like so awkward and they don't leave the house ever. And like I don't encourage them to leave the house. Like if my kids want to stay home and play video games all day, that's okay. Because when I was 16, I was out sleeping on park benches. Like, like
Yes.
I am okay. Like I don't understand when people are like, you need your kids to go out. Fuck, I know what I did at 16 and I don't want that for my kids.
I feel like for me, if I had have if I had have enjoyed being around my parents more and liked being home more, that shit wouldn't have happened. But because I hated being home because of who was there, I constantly looked for reasons to be out, and the people that were always out were not. the
Good
best
influencers.
crowds. Yeah, like
Yeah.
like the people with good parents were at home.
Yeah. But I ended up being at someone else's home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Usually it was someone who had absentee parents where the parents were always out, so the house was just available, or the parents were maybe more neglectful and were just like, do whatever you want as long as it's in the basement. Like for us, that was like the houses you could go to.
No, we were just, the mom was very trusting. That unfortunately, sorry, Linda. Yeah, your son got me pregnant. That's what happens. Like,
I actually did have one boyfriend whose parents were like that, and they actually had a talk with both of us about safe sex because they wanted to make sure I had the same knowledge level as him because they didn't know my parents.
that's good. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't, like, I didn't get pregnant because this guy had a masturbation issue. I mean, he was a teenager, but it was like it was to the point like he could only get himself off because he masturbated so fucking much. So it wasn't even a worry.
You don't have to worry. There you go. There you go. That's, kids need to learn about masturbation, and then you never have to worry about pregnancy because they're too busy. They can't. They can't do it.
They can't do it.
Anyone else?
A guy. Well, that's the problem. Is like if they masturbate too much, it gets to like, I mean, porn ruins your brain if you watch too much of it, and then the friction and whatever else. So, I was the first person he had sex with too, so he's probably nervous, I guess.
Yeah. You know what? A weird question to ask is like, people are really invested in your sex life when it comes to having kids. Like, why are you so invested in my sex? Like, who cares how often I'm doing it to get pregnant? Like, you know, like, it's like, oh, you must be busy. Like, I know what you're up to. Like, I have a lot of kids. So like people just assume you're always having sex. So why are you always concerned about my sex? Like, concerned about your own sex?
Because people are curious. People want to know, but they never have the opportunity to just ask on a regular basis.
Like it's not really Subway conversation, you know? Like, hey, like, how often do you do it? What position are you doing it in? Do you like it? Do they like it? Like, you know, like that's, I don't know.
Warm up game up. Like, how is it?
Yeah. Do you warm up? Is that a thing for you? Or do you just plow right through?
Sorry, I just thought of a quote that uses the same kind of question, just not in a pregnancy way. And it's from The Room, the movie 2003 with what's his face? I can't remember.
He's
Greg
a good
Sestero and and the quote is, "No, I can't. Anyway, how is your sex life?" And it's just two guys having a chat, and the one guy sleeping with the other guy's girlfriend, fiance. But yeah,
those are, I think those are good conversation stoppers. Maybe, like, you know, when you go out and people just randomly start talking to you at the grocery store, and they're just
about how their sex life is.
Just randomly, instead of answering, just be like, "How's your sex?"
Yeah.
Like, just ask. Like,
just ask.
You're gonna get the one weirdo that actually like goes into detail. You know that.
But there's, the chances are it makes so many people uncomfortable, because it is a private thing. But like,
if he goes into detail, I want to hear it. I'm like, he's probably been waiting to tell this for a long time.
Maybe,
like, I'm curious.
Yeah, you know, if someone does want to go in detail,
that would be me. I would go into detail. I'd be like, okay,
I want to know.
Like,
yeah.
Just a minute. I can tell you.
Just a minute.
That's all it takes.
Oh, Dawn Marie.
A minute.
That's all right. You know what? Some people are happy with just a minute. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm not, but it's cool.
Yeah. I mean, like, I need a warm up before the minute starts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, I need like a good 45 minutes before the minute, you know? Yeah. Like, it's, there's like a good 45 minutes before the minute. And then there's like 10 minutes after the minute.
Oh yeah, recovery, aftercare,
Yeah.
cuddles.
Yeah,
All
I love you. Thank you. You know, those like kinds of things.
Good job.
Good job.
High
Yeah.
five.
High five. It's okay that your minute was only a minute. I had those other minutes. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. I can't wait till like my kids are grown because I miss having 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
You know?
Like even now, like we have to like maybe wait till like 3 a.m. Like, okay, finally everyone's asleep. Maybe. Like
Maybe.
Yeah.
maybe. Although like my kids are old enough if they know how things do.
Yeah.
Like but
I mean,
still.
my kids know how things do. It's just the way our house is laid out, our rooms are just so close, and it's not even about making the kids uncomfortable. It's just about us feeling uncomfortable and knowing that they're
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah,
know?
it's like it's gross.
Yeah,
Like,
like
you
if that
know?
was like my parents or like you guys, I wouldn't care. I'd be like, oh, whatever, they're right there.
If it's
fine."
your parents, you don't
well, yeah, I don't care.
This
It was my parents even better. It's like, this is what you raised me to do.
That's a new kink unleashed right there.
I want to make my parents uncomfortable. That's-
Yeah, like, you know, I'm gonna be extra loud tonight, I think, you know?
Oh my
You
God.
got silent.
Yep. For the record, my mom scarred me my whole life by being this. She was very loud. Like, she did not care. Like, they would be like having sex during the day, and I like couldn't have friends over. So it was like, yeah, like, it was
I know how
so
that is.
bad. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, have you no shame? Like,
No. I do have like a lot of trauma now. Like a lot of people are like, oh, kids shouldn't care or whatever. But like I now have this thing where it grosses me out. Like unless it's a planned thing, like you know, watching porn. But like if I see people being intimate out in public and that's just like holding hands or kissing, it makes me want to vomit. Like that's, you know, thanks. You know.
I feel like a lot of it for me was they didn't really talk about sex or anything. So it was just like, I'm finding out all this shit from my friends, and like my friends obviously like their whole thing is just like, well, your genitals touch, and like you know, like it's gross, like it's not,
Yeah.
you don't understand it. And then you just hear like these sounds, and then it's just like now you're uncomfortable because you have no idea what's going on. Like my family never talked about like masturbation or any of that. The most I had was like when I was 9, my stepmom ended up having like a late term miscarriage, and I ended up coming home and like telling my mom, and my mom was like, oh, do you want to know where babies come from? And that wasn't my question. I was like, I was expecting a sister and I didn't get one. What the fuck? But my mom was like ready to like, well, when a man and a woman love each other, and that was as far as she got, you know, like
Yeah.
it was, and like my sex talk with my dad was, I mean, my dad used to like bring up how he didn't have sex,
Right?
like, and I'd be like, okay, that's a bad thing. Men are supposed to have sex,
Right? Like it's a mental thing, right?
yeah, it's like,
yeah.
okay, so this is bad when this happens. And when you have sex, you're supposed to be loud, and you're supposed to be acting, and you're supposed to be like, this is what you learn from your parents when they don't fucking talk about it.
Yeah, they're just overly sexualized around you, right? Like
Yes.
because talking about not getting it is still being sexualized, like sexualizing around your kids. It's gross.
Yeah.
And like it's yeah, no, I'm definitely traumatized. But then now I think I'm like ruining my kids because the lack of like not the lack of education, but like they're allowed to watch gore, like bloody whatever, swearing whatever, but if it's ever sexual content, I'm like there's an age for that. You're too young. Like, and you know what? 13 is too young. I don't know. I don't care who you are. 13 is too young. And like so now, but then also maturity. So like my son is 15, and even though like you know he does his thing, I'm still like you're not allowed to watch this show. Like an example would be The Boys. Have you guys seen The Boys?
I haven't, no.
Oh, okay. Well, it's super sexually graphic. It's violent, disgusting, violently sexually that way, and it's a great show. I love it. But like that's not something I would let my kids watch. Even, but like watch it on your own, I guess. You're sneaky. You're 15. But like it's just we just have expectations. And like my kids aren't overly sexualized. Like there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes
there's
it's
a difference between sexualizing your child and explaining sex to your child.
It is. There is.
You know,
my kids are educated. They're just, it's not forced upon them. They're not seeing tits and ass, and they're not seeing people like degraded that way. They're not. They're allowed to wear what they want, but at the same time, they're not 13 having their vagina out because they want boys to like them, or other females. Like that's not their goals, even though like that's some teenagers, and that's fine. But at the same time, some of that is because of sexual trauma. Like it's sad, and I don't know. It's I have like a huge mixed thing about it. Like it's
I mean,
very
with
gray,
with Ernest, it's like for me, like especially because I was like a single mom for a lot of his first few like 5-6 years before his father moved in with us. It was like for me it was always just age appropriate honesty, especially because I didn't know how to pee with a penis. And I was figuring out along with him. Like I'm trying to potty train him. He's like, I don't want to sit. I'm like, that's all I know. Let me watch a YouTube video. You know, like I'm figuring it out with him. And that kind of started from like age 3, and then was just kind of like moving on. And like I'm very like, kids touch themselves. That happens. And it's a lot of just like redirecting. Like it's like you can do that. You just need to find privacy for that.
Yeah,
your bedroom's a good spot. So then, you know, and you work from there up. I used to work as a birth doula. So like a lot of that talk like about birth and that kind of stuff was very involved with my son. And he was even at his sister's birth up until we went to the hospital for the last hour. But he was there, you know. And like even when it comes to sex, I mean, we don't really censor him a whole lot. He has seen sex scenes or whatever in like some shows, but it's never like we don't make it like it's not a big deal. It's like because we talk about it in like a very objectified, like a very like this is just what it is. It's not ooh, like this is what the society constructs around sex and that kind of stuff. It's just like sex is an act that adults partake in. We talk about, you know, the physicality of it, the natural responses of it, just a lot of that kind of talk. So we just never. He doesn't, you know. Sometimes he has questions and he brings it up because he has friends. Like when his friends online say something, he was like I think the other day, he's like, "What's fingering?" And it's like, okay, like, you know, we'll explain like the objectified details of it just because like I don't want him to get the information from other kids his age.
Right. Yeah.
And some of those kids are getting it from parents who aren't explaining it, but just acting in a way, or they're just seeing it from these TV shows. You know what I mean? So it's like, because that was me. I was that kid. And I was wrong.
Like, no, it's but like, and then also being respectful when your kids don't want to know about it. Like one of my children are like, when they were in school, some kids groped them. So now they're still working through that trauma. So whenever there is a song on the radio about like not even hidden meaning, but like blatantly saying masturbation or sex or sucking dicks, like those songs don't get played in our vehicle or anything because they cause like trauma. Like they like makes them uncomfortable. So I think a lot of parents, the issue is that parents sometimes push that on their kids even when their kids are uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And like that's not cool.
No. That's the thing. It's like I never push it. It's I wait for him to come to me, and I want him to feel comfortable enough to come to me. And then other than that, it's like, you know.
Yeah. Like so like it's in every parents their kids differently. Like this is how we do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's a question that's not bad to ask, or whatever the original thing was.
Annoying questions. Yeah. Annoying.
Ask people their boundaries.
Yeah.
Like and let them feel comfortable enough to tell you.
Be a good
important.
person. Yeah. And don't judge people for their boundaries. Like It's the same as like judging someone for their kinks. Like, don't sex shame, but also don't boundary shame.
Yeah.
Like that.
If
Like,
you can't handle their boundary, you remove yourself from the relationship.
Yeah.
That's
it. Like,
don't overstep their boundary.
yeah. Like, if you can't censor yourself, if you're like, well, this is my life, I can do what I want, you can. But like, remove yourself from that person who is telling you you're making me uncomfortable. Don't abuse them. Like, that's not your right. You don't have the right to be an abusive person.
But free speech.
I don't care.
Yeah,
Unless I ask you about
it.
your sex, I don't want to hear about it. Like,
how's your sex life?
Yeah, unless I ask, don't tell me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's my boundary.
that's my boundary, man. Like, and like, respect like your partner's boundaries. Like, if they don't want you talking about their sex, like, that's
I asked Chris
I
to
know,
listen to
yeah.
the full
I know.
episode. He is fine with it.
I know. I talk about Kyle's testicles all the time. He laughs. Okay, like, that's I'm not. We have permission, but like, no, but for real, like,
Yeah, for you other people.
yeah, for real Z's. On the topic of question asking, when you're answering a question, make sure all people involved boundaries aren't being crossed.
Yes.
Do we have any other questions we hate being asked before we sign off?
I think I asked all of them.
I know you listed like 7.
I hate being asked questions in general.
Yeah, don't talk to me.
No, for serious. Out in public, don't talk to me. I love silence, but like, unless I'm like talking to you, like, I know you or whatever, I don't like stranger danger. I don't care how old I get, I will never like stranger danger.
DM me on my socials so that I can choose to respond to you or not. Other than that, that's it.
Don't even text me because I'm not messaging you back.
No, don't text me on my personal number. Message me on a social media account where I can block you on very easily.
Yeah, don't call me.
Yeah, I'm not picking up. I assume you're a scammer at this point.
Always.
They're the only people that call.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So my kids need therapy. So like, a disclosure is my daughter has suicidal ideologies, and we've had to like go to the hospital a lot, and I have blocked all anonymous. So when the hospital calls, it comes up anonymous, and I have blocked all anonymous numbers from going into my phone because of these fucking scam people. I'm like, listen, you need to email me. Like, our communication cannot be through phone. You need to email me. I apologize, but like, harassment is just too much. Like,
I know
these guys have gotten intense.
The COVID restrictions are up. That's why they're back to work.
They're back to work in their call centers.
Yep.
Whenever I accidentally like pick one up, I'm like, it's a pandemic. How close are you to that guy beside you? I can hear him talking. You stupid bitch. I always say that.
My dick. That's what I always
Oh my god,
do.
yes. Yeah, you could suck my dick. That's aggressive, buddy. I realize you have a job, but because you didn't get my money, you're
but that's the thing. They're not even getting fired for rude customer service. What kind of business is this?
Is this scammy business? They don't care.
I bet like, let me speak to your manager now. Like,
right, they just hang up. I always like, can I speak to your manager? I like, what kind of scam doesn't have a manager?
They don't have time. Everyone wants to speak to their manager.
Let me speak to your manager. And I can't, man. He's been busy the last 10 hours. We keep calling white women. They keep complaining.
Well, there is a question I bet they hate being asked. Well, thank you so much for listening to our episode. Make sure to follow us on all of our social media accounts. You can probably search Opinionated Lushes or Opinionated_Lushes, and we usually show up. Make sure to check out our Patreon for bonus content.
If you have questions, you can email opinionatedlushes@gmail.com. Or if you just want to complain, you could do it there. We will probably block you because we don't want to talk to you. Or
you can ask for a manager.
You can ask for a manager. We'll send you to our manager. It'll be fun.
Yeah, no, it'd be good. I'm working on my bitch voice. Maybe I'll get it done by then.
Yeah.
I'll train you, Jessica. It's all good.
You can't even. I can't be bitchy. Although I do come across pretty bitchy. I don't know if I can do it on purpose.
Oh,
I do it
can.
on accident all the time.
Yeah.
So just talk to
Mine's
me. I'm sure at some
natural.
point I'll
Like,
offend you.
Mine's not like accident or purposely.
know.
Mine's natural. It's
You
just,
like look like a bitch. Like
yeah,
you, do,
Dawn's
like, you,
the bitch.
you have like the natural like bitch. Like you
I
can sound
know.
like a bitch, you look like a bitch, but you have like the most like magnetic personality. Like people just want to be around you. I don't understand.
I think it's because she acts like a bitch and looks like a bitch, makes you feel like if you can befriend her, then you're now important. You know
You're
what I
the
mean?
mean girl, like
Yeah.
high school
Is
drama.
that why you
Yeah,
guys are
that's
my
what it
friend?
feels like.
Is that why?
Yeah, I'm like secondary cool because I'm friends with Dawn.
Yeah,
Like that's how that works, obviously.
thirdly cool.
That's so fetch.
I'm making it a thing. We're making it a thing. It's okay.
I'm
Yeah.
Rachel McAdams now. That's it.
Yep.
I love her. I haven't seen her. She's been in something recently. Oh, yes. Pew.
Pew.
Yeah.
Rachel McAdams.
Yes. I love you in that thing you just did.
That goes pew.
Pew. There's
So if you
Yours
can,
is
Rachel
pew.
McAdams, if you could email us and tell us what that was at opinionatedlushes@gmail.com. You want to be a guest?
you want to be my
looking-
friend?
Yeah.
You can join
My
us.
friend
There's-
too, please.
We're
there's, like,
Canadian.
room.
You're
I'll be next to
Canadian.
you.
We're like twins.
We're like practically related.
Probably related. We're all white.
We're
This is,
white
like,
women.
statistically.
Statistically.
There's a cousin involved somewhere.
That's right. Do 23andMe and let me know.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you so much, and
right.
have a good night.
Have a good
Good night, guys.